Welcome to Surfside Stories. Today, here in the 8-4 studio, I've got two of the magic men that make the mighty Saints of Soul work. Sitting right next to me, Alan, tell us a little bit about yourself for a moment.
I'm Alan Brantley, and I'm basically, I lived in Burlington, North Carolina for all of my life. And recently, about 3 years ago, I moved to Greenville, North Carolina, and joined up with the Mighty Saints of Soul. It's been a great ride.
Nothing. Danny, tell us about you, where you came from.
I'm Danny Garner. I was raised in Mount Olive, North Carolina, and a little tobacco farm back there until I was 18 years old, and had to get away from the farm and start playing some music on the road. Been there ever since.
Okay, let's start. Where was the first time you ever sang a song? First time you ever played? What was your first instrument? Tell us a bit. We know who you are now. Let's find out who you were then.
Okay. Well, when I was 10 years old, I wanted to start playing guitar, and I asked my mom and dad to give me a guitar, and one never came. And then finally one day, my dad brought back some real unique things from town. There was a roll of fence wire, a stock hog, and a little blonde guitar. And so my mother was a bluegrass picker back in her day, and she taught me the first few chords. And from then, that was about the time the Beatles came out. So
you're telling your age now.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. But I was listening to a whole bunch of different things at one time. James Brown, Jimi Hendrix, and the Beatles, and Buck Owens all at the same time. I wasn't very confused because I loved all of it, and just one thing led to another. And by the time I was 18, I left the farm and went on the road full time with a rock and roll band. Played all over the Southeast from West Virginia to Florida.
What band were you with at the time?
It was a band called Warehouse. We played mostly rock and roll, all rock hits and stuff.
And was your band out of your hometown there?
Yeah, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Okay.
And we played probably 250, 300 nights a year, and it went on like that for all through the 70s. And luckily, we were in our 20s, so we could do it then. 300 nights a year gets old, especially when you're in 70s.
Yeah. Well, you didn't act last night. I got to tell you, y'all did a great job on stage. I've seen you guys several times. Last night, you took it a whole new level. And as much as I love you guys and what a great job you do, and the crowd showed too. It showed in their responses, really good.
It felt so good last night.
Hey, it looked good, brother.
It felt really good.
Alice, you happen to be sitting back there. Heaven makes sound good with that sound last night. Tell us about how you got there.
Well,
where'd you start?
Well, for sound, where I started there was a group in Burlington that most of the guys in the band I went to high school with, and they played. And then in like 1969 or 70, the band broke up, but most of the guys I was still friends with. So 20 years later, went to see Band of Oz, and they were at the Ramada Inn in Burlington, and they did a James Brown medley. And 3 or 4 of the guys from the band, the Magnificents, were there, the original band. And I walked by and I made a remark. I said, it's time to do a reunion show. Just off the top of my head, walking by to the guy that basically had it together and did all the booking. And he said, what? I said, a reunion show. Everybody's still alive. And let it go. We let it go, went on. The next day, the guy calls me up. He says, were you serious about last night? I said, what did I say? And he said, about the reunion show. I said, everybody's still alive from the original band. We need to do a reunion show. And we did it. I went and got the tuxedo place, donated tuxedos. I got the room. I got a warm-up band. Got all this done.
So where did you do this reunion?
Burlington, North Carolina, at the Ramada Inn, because all the guys were from Burlington in the band.
Okay.
And I still call it to this day, the perfect storm. It was December 26th, a Saturday night after Christmas. And I said, a lot of the people that we went to high school with now, this is 20 years later.
Yeah.
And I said, or about 25 years later. And I said, everybody will be home for Christmas. They'll come out and see us. Well, it kind of went back and forth, and we got it together. I got them to rehearse at my house. Had a big full basement we could rehearse in. We did that. And the night of the show, 600 people tried to get in. They wouldn't let them all in, and it was raining. It was amazing what we did. So after that, a lot of the people that we went to high school with started asking for, can you play my daughter's wedding? Can you play our class reunion and things like that? So then we all got together, decided to play. And I became part of that deal. And as we were playing along,
what group
the
was this?
Magnificents, my first band, out of Burlington band. And I was a partner in it with the rest of them. I kind of financed it a little bit, if you want to say, just because I wanted to be part of it.
Yeah.
Well, we had a sound guy that was a pain. Great friend, but a pain. And they just couldn't take him no more. So they fired him. And I said, now what we're going to do? And they pointed at me and said, you're it. June 6th, I think June 6th or June 3rd, I can't remember. 1988, I did it for the first time. Had no clue, but I had watched a lot of people do it over the years. And they said, just make sure they can hear the lead singer, this fader right here, push it up and down. That's all they got to do is hear the singer. And after that, I said, I think I can do this. And still today, did it last night, still doing it.
Not only do you still do it, you have perfected it, brother.
Well, a lot of tutorials. I even the other week I watched one on YouTube on a reverb unit that I have. It's in the system, and I found some little things you could do with it. And well, it's been a couple of weeks ago because I did it the other week and I like it a lot better. So I still do tutorials. I still like
still learning,
and I'll do it as long as I can.
Question, Danny, where did you go from that band? What was the name of the band you were first with?
Warehouse.
And where did you go from there?
Well, about 1979, 80, the band just kind of played out. We got kind of burnt out with what we were doing, and I kind of got out of it for 5 or 6 years, and just laid back and did some writing and all that, and spent about 7 years in California working with some guys out there.
Oh, what part of California?
It was around Santa Cruz.
Okay.
And met a bunch of interesting people and played with some guys out there.
And you were in what kind of music then? What genre would you say?
Just all kind of stuff. People from LA and Santa Cruz area, just doing whatever the pop tunes were then. But I left and came back in '97 to North Carolina and played with a couple of local bands here and there, not doing a lot, but my buddy Jim Hydrock called me up and said, why don't you come on out and jam with us one night? And he said, Jackie Gore's been playing with us, and he's left to go do another thing with a big horn band or something like that. And my friend said that you might fit in. So I came out on a Sunday afternoon, and I guess they liked me, so I'm still here.
You hadn't left yet, huh?
Yeah, I'm with the Mighty Saints of Soul.
Yeah.
Then, so you went from there to the Mighty Saints of Soul.
Yep.
Tell me some of the. You've been through a few more bands than that along the way.
Oh my gosh.
Bring me up to date here.
Well, the Magnificents played for a few years, and they still play today with a whole different set of people. But I left in '90. I wanted to do something a little different, and I put together the Holiday Band. Gary Brown, most of the people know who he is. He was not in the band at the time, working a regular job, and we were best of friends. And I said, we need to put a band together and do all the songs that the bands wouldn't do that we wanted them to do with you singing. And he looked at me and said, that's a great idea. So we wrote down all these songs, and I said, let's do a record. So we did a record called Miami, and it kind of made a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So now I had to put a band together. So I'm making phone calls, put this thing together. And Holiday Band.
Where'd you go to do the record? What studio were you using back at that time? You remember?
Oh my gosh!
That's too much.
It had to either be CMC in Zebulon,
Okay.
or Studio East. I'm gonna say CMC.
Okay.
I think. God, I wasn't expecting that question. I had to research that 35 years ago.
Studio East, is that the one in Charlotte?
Yes, with Tim Eaton. I'm pretty sure that's probably
Been in
what
that
we might
studio
have
before,
went.
yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so we put this band together, and all of a sudden it started making a little noise. So we did a CD, put that out, and that was done at both places. We did half of it here and half of it at Studio East, or half of it in CMC. And it made noise. And all of a sudden, people started calling, and we're working. And I was a sound guy and booking agent, the whole 9 yards. And I stayed there 15 years. And the year I quit, the reason I left because I had two other jobs I was doing, making money, real money, and they wanted to play more. And the year I left, I did 148 dates with them, and I said I can't do any more. I can't do 200. So they bought me out, and I didn't do anything, just sat around, get a call from Rhythm Brothers, Big John Thompson, to fill in. Here's where I've learned something, people. If they call you to fill in, unless you want the job, don't go. Because I filled in, played it till it ran its course, left that, went to, gosh, I don't know, put Hit Pocket together.
Was that fill in too?
Well, no, I kind of put that together.
Okay.
Basically. Well, it was two bands, and I was filling in for one of the bands, and we all got together and made Hit Pocket happen. That's how that worked. Left that after about 8 years. I just got tired of 100 dates is a lot. That's like one every other day almost, or every 2 days. And then I sat home a while and got a call to fill in for a group called Bounce. And Bounce is a wedding band, corporate band, high energy.
I've heard of them.
They play top 40, they play all kinds of stuff. And I was there 7, 8 years. Then I moved, and I said, I can't keep doing both. So I moved to Greenville, North Carolina, and I'm sitting there about 4 years ago, or actually Atlantic Beach, and I go see these guys. Now, Danny, I did not know. I've known Jim and Randy forever, and I know Bob, the bass player, a long, long time. And at the end of the night, I just walked up and was talking to Randy and Jimmy, and I said, can I say something? And they said, well, yeah, go ahead. I said, well, y'all are a better band than what I heard tonight. And I think you need to, I don't know what you need to do, but I think you're a better band. Well, about a week later, I get a call to fill in.
Again.
Now, 4 years later, I'm still here. But this is my last one. I promise you, this is my last one. And I hope it doesn't end anytime soon.
Well, I'll tell you, with the job you did last night, I hope it doesn't end anytime soon.
I'll tell you what, they could have played 5 more hours for me last night. Oh. I thought it was rocking in the house.
It was.
Excellent.
Now, tell me, Gary, what do you feel like is your strongest genre of music? I haven't played guitar in a number of different areas there.
Well, I've never locked into one particular genre of music. I've dabbled in country and rock and roll and the funk thing, but never have driven straight at one thing. But I love singing easygoing country stuff. And I love the Eagles type sound and
Eagles fan myself.
Jackson Brown, all that kind of thing. I love all that. But I got to admit, I'm hooked on the funk too.
Well,
I love the funk.
You said you've written a number of songs. What genre do you think the songs fit in that you've written?
Well, most of the stuff I've written in the last 10, 15 years was like try to fit into the beach music world. Try to do the 120, 118, 120.
Yeah. Something
that I thought it would be danceable.
Yeah.
More than anything else. But I don't know, still going for work. Still trying to come up with something that's people can get off on,
Yeah, well, I've been told by another friend of mine that does some writing, says, I have to write 1,000 songs to get one good one.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
He learned that, he said, in Nashville when he was up there for a while.
Right.
So you tell me, what do you think is your strength?
Mine?
Yeah. I mean, obviously you're good in the equipment, but what's the strength? What you hear, what you feel?
Yes, sir. All of that. It's the music has a feel to me, and even sometimes when I go hear bands I don't think are really good, but they're playing, and it makes me feel good. They entertain me. I'm very happy. I like to be entertained when I go hear a band. And the first night that I heard Danny sing, it just blew me away. I said, "Oh my gosh, where'd this guy come from? I didn't know it. I'd never heard of Warehouse or those bands he'd been in, but it was just excellent." And then, don't go fill in, folks. That's all I can say. You won't never leave. They don't let you leave when you fill in. But I've enjoyed this run. And one good thing about this band that I like a lot, I've been here 4 years. I've never heard the first cross word. it's just been like a three. I don't have brothers either. And it's like a bunch of brothers. And Randy will call me or Jim will call me. It's just, it works. Right now, it's working very well.
That sounds like it. How do you feel about that, Gary?
Danny.
Danny, I mean,
Yeah.
how come I've called him Gary?
You've done it all
14
day.
times?
Just knowing Gary's all right. He'll answer.
Danny, tell me.
I feel good about it. Like you say, we get along great. We're all like brothers, and there's no need for any kind of dissonance or discord or anything like that.
We've got too old for it.
Yes, there's no time for all that.
You've played in enough different groups and you've done sound. How do you develop that brotherhood? What makes it happen?
Well, humility is, you got to have humility. And just, if you got a strong ego, you got to, like, just look at another person and, like, you're a person like I am, and just, let's don't, like Big John said, don't start none, there won't be none.
Okay.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah. You get where you usually in a band, 6 people, 5 people, 10 people, it's not everybody that's that way. It's usually maybe one. And you just
Okay.
get tired of dealing with the one or 2 at the most. Well, we don't have the 5 of us, so we don't have enough people to let that happen. And I love playing this band. I love it.
Well, you've seen a lot of transition
Oh, boy.
since. Tell me about the improvement in equipment, sound equipment, since you started till now.
Oh, my Lord. The equipment is phenomenal because now I can walk around with an 11-inch iPad that weighs probably less than a pound, maybe. I don't know what it weighs. But years ago, I had the big soundboards, and yet, like they were talking about today at the thing for Eddie, the soundboards are big. I don't care if you get even any of them are big. It is hard to put them in places, and people don't want them. You go to a country club, oh, you can't put it there, you can't put it there. And David Hicks even made a remark today talking, and I have done it. I'll put it back in the truck. I have nowhere to put it. And I said, you tell the bride why we're not here. And the manager would look at you kind of funny. You have to sometimes just do what you got to do. So I like the idea that speakers have amps built in. I like in-ear monitors. We don't use wireless mics because nobody really jumps around and runs around a whole lot. But it's the fact that it's simpler and you can set it up quicker. You can take it down quicker. And I think it sounds better to me. And being the iPad, you can walk around different places in the room. And if you don't like the way it sounds in that corner, you can work with it a little bit, try to get it better over here or over there. And you can't do that with a soundboard. You just walk and you come back. You don't know if you fixed it or whatever you did with it. And it's got, it used to be, I don't remember the racks we used to have with reverbs and compressors and EQs, and every instrument had an EQ.
And 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, and you had 2 people to roll it in. It's like a safe. Now it's on the iPad. It weighs a pound and has everything you'll ever need in it. And I like that. I can sit anywhere. I can move. You can go to the bathroom, come back. It doesn't matter. You got it with you. But that's what I like about it. I like the new technology. It's keeping me working more, or longevity is what I say, because of it's lighter, it's easier to work with.
But Danny, the same thing's happened in guitars over that period of time. Tell me where you started, what kind of guitar you started with, and where you're at now, and what do you like the best? Why did you keep up with the times?
Well, the very first one I had was a $16 Stella.
Oh, Lord.
I
hadn't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
Strings about that high off the fretboard. And my fingers actually bled. And I got to learn, my mother taught me the first few chords, and she said, this is F chord. And I started playing F, and it required mashing down 2 strings with one
the first finger. Yeah.
And I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was about to give up guitar, and that was it. But I finally got it and kept on with it.
That's on the Stella still.
Yeah, that was a Stella, yeah. But then I finally got my first electric. I think it was from Western Auto or somewhere. Nobody's heard that name for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've forgotten they ever carried musical instruments, but they did.
Finally worked my way up to the Gibsons and Fenders and all that. And one thing led to another. I kept trading and buying up the bigger and bigger amplifiers till it was a wall full, for the rock thing. But now it's down to like, all I need is just one little amp with one 12-inch speaker to let the PA do the rest, which a lot of people are doing. and don't require a whole wall of sound and all that.
That's got to do with the sound of the town, right?
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite guitar of all time?
Well, I've been playing the Stratocasters for years now, and I played the Les Pauls and ES-335 Gibsons back in the day and all that, but I think I've settled on the Stratocaster pretty much, and I like the way it feels, the way it works.
Yeah. Speaking of the sound, I've been using Performer software since 1980s for my sound stuff. What do you use? What do you prefer? Or what do you have on your little board? What's the software that you use?
There's a program that Apple has on the iPad. It's X32. You just go to the App Store, you punch it up, and boom, there it is. And then you just have to do, when you do the iPad, you have to have a router just like we do in the house for Wi-Fi. It's run off Wi-Fi. And you just have to get the numbers in, and it just turn it on, clicks right on, about 10 seconds. You're ready to play.
I've seen different soundmen. Some of them want to be in the center. Some want to be at the side. Some of them want to be at the back. What's your favorite position to be in that audience?
If I can pick a place, would be like where I was last night. Dead center, looking straight at the band, and up a little bit. Up just a little bit over people's heads so they're not absorbing everything that I need to be hearing. But I have been behind the band. I've been on the side of the band. I have actually been in another room in the band mixing, and that's tough. I had to do that with a soundboard one time, a couple times in another room. Thank you for the iPads.
That's been a big improvement for you.
Well, for me, it has. A lot of people this and that, but I like it because you can, like I say, move around. You can work the room a little bit more, well, a whole lot more. But you get these places. I mean, I've played in places in the band no bigger than where we are. Mm. And this is just a condo, and you'd have to put the soundboard over there in that bedroom. Oh, so then you can't see the band. You don't know what's going on. If they stop, you don't know what's going on. You don't know if something broke or something. At halftime, I'd go running out. I thought somebody unplugged us. You never know. But whoever invented this deal with the iPad and all the Wi-Fi, I love that person.
Well, I've seen in our conversation we have at this point, I've seen you do a lot of studying and reading. What do you think is coming up, and is this AI going to help any or hurt in doing? I'm not big on AI songs.
I got you.
But will the AI help in the actual production or in the sound end of it?
I don't think I can give you an answer on that. I don't know. I'm just going to have to wait and see what happens with it. I don't know what.
Well, none of us know, but
not at all. I do know that a lot of the DJs posted on Facebook that if they know it's an AI song, they won't play it.
Oh, that's AI songs. I'm a big supporter of the people that go out and play the song.
I agree.
When the AIs first started coming out a year or so ago, I started getting calls from a number of the artists. And Wayne, what do you think about them? I said, they can't come out and play a song to me. They can't get on stage. I'll never support. I believe in supporting the live people. And that's what I want to do. And, I've had this conversation with Jessica up at Surf. I've had it with Ray Scott. And I agree. I only know one station that's even playing them. And I've had a conversation with him. Because I think you guys they can't do what you guys did last night.
It doesn't have... The thing with this band, and most of them that I've been in, this one especially, we are like a Motown Philly soul band. You feel this music. It makes you happy.
I agree with that. Yes.
It makes you happy. It makes you want to drink that second beer after the first one. It just feels good, and it just works. And Jim was talking earlier about his early days. He overplayed, and I did say that to him, 15 years ago or so. And I said, you play great, just don't play so darn much. And next thing I go see him again, he's back there just playing along, and it's all fitting so good. And we're blessed with this band with 4 people that sing. Now, the bass player doesn't sing a lot, but he does sing. So we got 4 lead singers. Not many bands have that, and everybody's unique. And Danny will tear up a country song in a minute. Oh, my gosh. I'm not a big country guy. But when he does his boot scooting boogie and all the... or his Elvis Presley, oh, Lord, it don't get no better than that.
what's your favorite type of music again? Out of all these you played, let's clarify this.
Well, I just like straight ahead harmony stuff that's got like the Eagles, the Jackson Brown, and it's all mixed together to me. It's no one direction actually.
And for you, what's your favorite?
Well, y'all ain't gonna like this one.
You've both been through a lot.
Well,
of music.
It's the feeling.
Personally, for me, I do like Motown and Philly soul, but I like the Stax, Sam and Dave, Wilson Pickett, Otis Redding. I love that kind of music.
Yeah,
That's my favorite.
definitely.
Well,
James Brown.
by the way, you said something about this song make you want to have one more beer.
Mm-hmm.
What I like the best of this song makes you want to hear one more song.
That happened. We've had that happen a few
Hey,
times.
it happened last night.
Well, we had a job. We played. I won't get too deep in it, but it was a birthday party, and the guy paid us. It was his son's birthday, and we played, and we got done, and had a good crowd there. Someone was like turning 21, and had a pig picking type thing. So we ended at whatever time it was we were supposed to end. So I'm usually pretty quick about getting stuff down. So I got one side, then turned it all off and unplugged it. And Randy walks up and says, "Hang on." I said, "What?" He said, "I think they're going to pay us to play another hour."
Ooh.
I said, "Hey guys, we're going to play another hour. We're going to make amount of dollars extra." Everybody looked at me, and I started plugging it back in, turned it right back on, and went to sit right down with my iPad. Went back to work. So I like that. And they work with the people, and these guys play for people they know, and they just friends of theirs that we play a lot for. I like it. I like being here, and I like playing with them.
Tell me again, what is beach music?
I was afraid you was going to ask me. I got a complete different thing on it. To me, beach music is music that was not playing on the radio in the 60s. You didn't get it on mainstream radio, but when you went across the street over here to the pad, you heard Harlem Shuffle, Ain't No Big Thing, Voice Your Choice. Oh, golly. Stuff like that. Oop Oop A Doo. That's a song you never heard.
Oh,
But the bands played them. The Embers played them. The Magnificents played those kind of songs. And I like that black soul music. I always have. And if you look on my playlist on the phone, I got one that says soul music. And that's all the artists that are on that playlist.
Oh,
That's my favorite from high school days. And, but, we play I'm not a country guy, but we do it well and people like it. I'm good with it.
Okay, same thing. What is beach music to you?
well,
There is no right or wrong answer.
Well, it's music you did not hear on mainstream radio that you had to listen to John R. and them guys late at night
Okay.
if you wanted to hear it. And then all of a sudden you go hear somebody like the Embers. They would be playing all that stuff. The Magnificents were the best at it. And I'll never forget, I went to see them one night, first time I ever saw them, and they played all this stuff. And so the next day, or Monday, we got back to school. The keyboard player and I were friends. I didn't even know he played in the band. And I said, "I want to list every song you played." And he wrote 10 of them down. I went to the record store and he ordered every one of them for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, our time is getting up here, but one last thing. What do you see you doing 2-3 years from now? You still
You
be
wrote
where
that
you are?
answer.
Yeah.
If I stay healthy like I am, since I've turned a little older this week, I'll be right here if they continue on, I hope. If not, I'm going to go sit at Atlantic Beach and look at the water.
Is there anything that you think the people out there you'd like for them to know that we didn't cover?
Come see us.
Okay.
Come see us more.
Danny, same question. Anything you'd like for people to know out there that we didn't get to cover in this?
I don't know. It's just like he said, come see us play and keep the feeling of the music going, because that's what it's all about, is the feeling. What makes you happy.
Amen to that. And hey, you keep playing like you did last night, the crowd's going to get bigger. And
it was
I heard so many people last night afterwards talking about how great it was. I say you guys are good, but you took it to a new level. And
we lately, well, not lately as much as it was a couple of years ago. And when I started with them, it's not anything that I did magical. They were putting it out. It just wasn't coming out. And I got it to come out. And it was how many people that had been seeing these guys for years kept coming up. All of them, they didn't know who I was, most of them.
Yeah.
And they said, God, y'all sound so different. Y'all sound so different. And all I did was get what they were doing and put it out to the people.
Yeah.
And it works.
Great. Alan, Danny,
My pleasure.
thank you so much for being here. For you folks out there, go to surfsidestories.com. You can click and go to Spotify. You can listen to it while you're driving. You can go to YouTube, put on Surfside Stories, and we got 29 or 30 of out there already that you can listen to. You can also go to Explore NMB, or you can go to Roku TV to the Live Beach Music channel, and you can see the podcast. So lots of ways you can keep up with these guys. And again, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here today. It's been awesome, gentlemen.
Thank you for what you do for the music industry down here.
Thank you, sir.
No, thank you, gentlemen, for what you do. Folks, we'll see you again next week.